Okay, the weather's nice enough for me to be out here and strip this old motor off of here on the roller. So this is the Wisconsin VH4D that went bad on me. Maybe after I pull it off, we'll rip the heads off of it and do a little bit of failure analysis and see if we can't figure out what went wrong. But it's pretty simple to get off of here. I've got this homemade job gas tank on here right now because the other one was full of rust. But all we gotta do is pull the fuel line. There's 2 belts down there that run down to the drum vibrator and 4 motor mount bolts on each corner. We'll just pull them off and the whole thing should come right off. Okay, the motor's free. It should come right off now. All the motor mounts are cut. Belts are off. Fuel lines are disconnected. The electrical cables are just hanging over there. They'll come right up. Let's get skid steer and see if we can't pull it off. Lying, we did forget a wire. Well, now that that's all removed, gives us a better idea how much room we're working with here. And I got to pull the PTO off of that thing eventually and get ready to mount it up on the Kubota Diesel replacement. I think we're going to have to cut this fuel tank off too, the brackets anyway, and relocate it, because I think the radiator, from what I measured before, the radiator is going to be somewhere in here on the Kubota. But that'll be fine. We'll turn it sideways or put it out here over the tongue or something. We'll make it all work. Just did some more measuring and everything's going to have to be removed now. So get out the plasma and start gouging the stuff off. I'm definitely getting better with the plasma cutter, but definitely got a long way to go, because I've seen guys that could gouge stuff off without barely hurting anything. So, you know, this plate was a little bit sacrificial in this instance, but overall not a big deal. I could do a little bit better job with the torch, but it's all about learning. This isn't something that needs to be perfect, so best to learn on this kind of stuff. Alright, time to remove this PTO. It's a Rockford centrifugal clutch cam overlock PTO. It's a 1-to-1. It's not any gear reduction or gear multiplier, so should be pretty easy to get off. Okay, so about after 20 minutes of head scratching and creative engineering, I believe I figured out how we are going to proceed in mounting this PTO to this JunkYard Kubota. I'm going to go ahead and lay out all my cards on the table and see if you guys can follow. So the pieces I've got here, inside of this bell housing that came on the motor, I know it's a little dark in there, there's a splined receiver end, and I've got this spline shaft here for that coupler, which engages into that spline. If I can ever get it lined up, put a little hair around it. Alright, so now I have that shaft coming out of there, and I believe somewhere in there is going to get cut off, and I will have to have another shaft machined to go over top of this to take it up to the inch and I don't know, inch and an eighth or whatever it is that engages this PTO shaft. I don't remember the dimension off the top of my head. And then to bolt the housing to, this is actually the back housing off of a Wisconsin motor, one that is just parts that I had. I actually sold off the one that was off of the roller originally. That's good for it. So anyway, this part is going to face the bell housing. We're going to turn this down to the same as the ID on the bell housing. So this will center itself up onto the bell housing here, like so. Once that's machined down, that'll all sit flush and everything, done deal. We'll knock our holes in the bell housing, bolt this thing up, and then we have to face this outside off just a little bit so that we will not run into that face there, because this piece, which was on the back of the motor, fits down inside of that PTO housing just like so. This was actually the crank bearing race that you can see there. So that should keep everything lined up and mounted solid. I'm pretty happy with that plan so far. So we'll luckily I have some buddies that work at the machine shop I used to work at, so we're gonna get this baby turned down. Come here. Who's a good Roscoe? Let's go. Okay, well, the backing plate's off at the machine shop, and we are one step closer to getting this thing back on the roller. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys give me a thumbs up for my video, and let me know in the comments if you think this adapter plate idea is going to work. And we'll catch you on the next video. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe. Check out some of the cool stuff we get into. Me and the dog, thank you.